You notice we have somebody new on our dais, so I would like to welcome Mr. Paul Ott as our new superintendent of Beavercreek Schools. The agenda is presented. Can I have a motion and a second, please?
Second.
Any discussion? Let's call the roll.
Ms. Zarber? Yes. Mr. Morrison?
Yes.
Ms. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Donovan?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Motion carries.
We now have board reports.
I just wanted to share that we took the advocacy briefing to Mr. Corrales came. Didn't get here for our first meeting, so we did it again. There it is.
Thanks for sharing. I have a report. Band camp for our 300 marching band students is the week of August 1st through the 5th. Monday through Friday, it's for August 1st through the 4th. It's 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. And then on Friday, August 5th, it's 8 to 7. But at 6 o'clock, there is a show for the parents or anybody who wants to show up, and it's worth going to see. So there you go. And I know your son's going to be in it this year. So Mr. Ryan has his son in marching band this year, so we're excited. Okay, so the next is, I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Schwierman. Yes, recognitions tonight.
Good evening. It's with great pleasure that I'm here tonight to be able to MC, if you will, our recognition for some really special people who work hard in our district to make sure that our staff is supported, that our students are supported, provide services to our district and our students. The Outstanding Classified Support Staff Member Award was established this year to complement our Outstanding Educator Award and to recognize the support and contribution that our classified staff members provide our school district. Providing quality education and supporting a positive learning environment to help our students learn and grow requires more than just a great teacher. It requires high-quality support staff members to ensure that our facilities, our grounds, our transportation services, our student nutrition services, our office and special education services receive the attention to detail and quality care and dedication that our students deserve. In the spring of this year, nominations were accepted by students, families, staff members, and administration to help us identify and recognize the fantastic efforts of the individuals that we're about to recognize this evening. At this meeting tonight, the following resolution is adopted by our Board of Education. And once I've read the resolution, and instead of doing the resolution for each person, I'll read the resolution and we know that it's for each individual being recognized this evening. And then we're going to call each individual up to be recognized by their supervisor. So tonight's board meeting, our board is adopting the following resolution. At the meeting of the Beavercreek Board of Education held this Thursday, July 21st, 2016, the following resolution is adopted. Whereas the Beavercreek Board of Education has established the Outstanding Classified Support Staff Member of the Year Award to recognize annually support staff that exemplify the educational excellence which is the keystone of Beavercreek City Schools. And whereas the Board of Education wishes to recognize publicly the unique and vital contribution that these support staff members make for our schools day after day. And whereas these staff members have been selected as one of this year's, each of these staff members has been selected as one of this year's Outstanding Classified Support Staff. And they are a recipient based upon their excellence and continual exhibition of high personal and professional standards, which bring credit and honor to themselves, the classified support staff profession, and Beavercreek City Schools. And so, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education, Beavercreek City Schools, does hereby congratulate and claim these individuals for being selected as an outstanding classified support staff member, and do publicly express its sincere appreciation for their contribution and service to Beavercreek City Schools. The board looks forward to the continued association of these individuals as a member of our staff and wishes them continued success and satisfaction in all of their future professional and personal endeavors. So at this time, I would like to ask Mr. Todd Scott, our supervisor for transportation, and our outstanding classified support staff member, special needs assistant transportation staff member, Ms. Connie Combs, to come forward. Connie. Todd speaks very highly.
Of course. Welcome, Connie. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So I'll tell you a little bit about Connie. Connie has been a transportation special needs assistant for us for 16 years. During that time, about 9 years ago, Connie made a choice to strengthen and to help promote herself as an employee and took the step of becoming a substitute bus driver as well. We have 19 special needs assistants in transportation, and Connie is the only one we have that's qualified to operate a school bus in full compliance. So congratulations for that. I think that's an outstanding accomplishment for you. A little bit of a different thing in transportation than most of the classifications. They already have an inner group that recognizes staff for different awards for things like longevity and attendance. And they also recognize a female and male employee of the year. And in fiscal year 2010, Connie was nominated and elected and was awarded Employee of the Year for Transportation for the whole department down there as the female representatives. That was a huge accomplishment. Connie graduated from Corey Rawson High School in Hancock County in 1971. She is married to Mike Combs here in Beavercreek. He is a Beavercreek grad and is a tool and die maker here in the Dayton area. They have one daughter. Her name is Lindsay, and Lindsay graduated from Beavercreek, went on to graduate from Sinclair Community College, and now works with a nursing degree at Dayton Children's. Connie is a member of Corvette Troy, and she has been for over 30 years. And Connie actually held the women's national drag racing record for 2 years. She accomplished 12.55 seconds in a quarter mile. She held that record for 2 years. And she just told me right before the meeting here that at that time, when she broke that record, her husband-to-be actually let her borrow his Corvette to do that. So that was a lot of trust.
We still have the car.
You still have the car. So Corvette Troy is an organization that raises money. It's a local charity for spina bifida. And over the course of 30 years, she's been involved with that and has raised over $500,000 in the past 30 years for that organization. She's also a member of Terrific Women in Giving. This is an organization she's held many offices in, and it is an auxiliary club for Dayton Children's Hospital. She is also a member of the Miami Valley Quilting Guild. And she has been for about 10 years. And some of you might remember at the beginning of this year, we actually had a Quilts of Valor at a board meeting type deal where she came in and she helped to quilt. I think it was for 19 veterans. Basically, they make a quilt for each veteran that served. And Connie's been a huge part of that for the last 10 years. Connie, with all that said, congratulations. Really appreciate your service. And thank you for all that you do.
Thank you very much.
So, Connie, you have the opportunity to say something if you'd like.
Good evening, everyone. It is a very nice honor, a very great honor to have this. I work mainly with the special needs children, excuse me, and sometimes I look at those children and I think, oh, they're here to teach us, because so many times you think you know it all. They teach me something every day that I take for granted, or I just never looked at it during that view. And I enjoy my job extremely. And in a few years, I'm going to retire. But until then, I enjoy my job. No matter if I'm driving or sitting beside holding somebody's hand because they're upset in the bus till they get home. I really do enjoy my job. And the people I work with, too. Thank you.
Before the meeting started, today is actually her birthday. No. Plays from the audience.
Well deserved, Connie. Next, I'd like to ask Mrs. Connie Little, our supervisor for student nutrition services, and Nancy Cooper to come forward, please. Nancy. Nancy is the assistant manager at Beavercreek High School's Deli Cafe.
Good evening. It is my distinct pleasure and honor to be here tonight to honor Nancy Cooper, our Beavercreek High School Deli Cafe Assistant Manager and the outstanding classified supports person for our department. So this evening I'd like to share with you just a few of Nancy's remarkable traits that makes her such a dedicated leader. I'd like to start off with your team leadership. So many times Nancy said to me since she's been awarded this, why me, why me? And I'm going, there's so many countless reasons. She's just amazing. We never worry with Nancy. She's always there and always giving 110%. So with that, I'd like to talk about all of your wonderful qualities here that has given you this award. You have people skills, which encompassing commitment, communication, and approach. Your commitment to work is you lead by example. The staff depends on you for direction to uphold your amazing work ethic. You communicate with your team daily. When an employee does an excellent job, you praise the employee. If an employee needs encouragement, you're there to give it to them and to help them grow. And that is a true sign of a leader. You understand each employee takes a different approach. You see that and you compliment them and you help them grow every day. It is an absolutely amazing trait, and I thank you for that. You're going above and beyond embracing success. One of the most amazing things that I saw Nancy do this past year was embrace the idea of our work matrix method that we have come up with to help make our kitchens more efficient. And with that, she, like I said, embraced it and developed this amazing Beavercreek High School kitchen guide book. And it took over 6 weeks, probably longer, to organize, and she included job descriptions in it, everyone's work matrix, school schedules, cleaning lists, stocking techniques, special recipes, baking instructions, how to set up the deli cafe, food ordering instructions, and all kind of helpful tips to make the deli cafe run smooth every day. She even interviewed staff at each position to help develop the book. It's over 100 pages. It's very efficient and it's very organized, and it's been a great access. We can use it to help anybody get through the day at Beavercreek High School. So Nancy, thank you for that amazing gift that you gave to the department. You're a mentor. You are a huge mentor. As a senior staff member, the nominee and provided leadership to junior members of her team. She joined the employees to set up challenges that they might be facing and to address them. You did cross-training and help people learn in that cross-training to be efficient and effective in running the kitchen. And you're able to give individual support and constructive criticism to motivate and grow. The mentorship has benefited the kitchen's work environment with increased staff availability to work in all positions. Change. We all like change. And adjusting to change is an attribute of Nancy. Whether there's a delay on lunch times, a decrease in attendance by the students, where she has to calmly make all kinds of important decisions to make sure that the day runs well, she's there. She's approachable, and she knows the staff can depend on her to guide her with all of her wonderful skills and leadership. You're professional, very professional. As a member of the School Nutrition Association, you have a level 1 certification for the last 18 years. And she's kept that current by attending workshops and many school nutrition meetings. So with the ever-changing regulations of the student nutrition department is gone, Nancy's always had that amazing smile that you see right there on her face, and she's always looking for a positive way to meet the challenges out there. So, and I definitely appreciate that. So it makes everything so much easier. You're also willing to help post items for the School Nutrition Association, which is greatly appreciated as well. Nancy also volunteers to help out with many other organizations as well. She's always there to help with the kitchen needs, with their show choir, or some other activity going on at Beavercreek High School. She's an amazing liaison between the department and the community. And she's always there to help everybody to make sure that it goes along smoothly. So whenever we have activities there, we get a lot of requests that Nancy come and be the leader there. So she's the glue that makes it all come together and puts everybody at ease when they have a function there at the Beavercreek High School. So without further ado, I'd like to thank you, Nancy, on behalf of the Student Nutrition Department and Beavercreek City Schools, because you're very, very deserving, and I thank you so very much for everything for us.
And I did not know that I was going to talk, so please bear with me. First of all, I have to thank everybody, Connie, first of all, because she's gave me this opportunity to come and work in the Student Nutrition Department and be with the students. It's been a great, great experience for me. What makes my job so easy is I have a great staff that works together. My manager, Sharon Millsack, is here. She leads the kitchen. She leads us ladies in the directions that we need to go to provide quality food for our students and staff at the schools. I've been doing this for years, and every year it gets more exciting and more exciting. I love it. I love the students, and I love it when I go out in the community and a student I would not even know comes up to me and she says, or he said, "I know you. Did you used to work at the high school?" I go, "Yes, yes." And then you would believe the rapport we have at that connection there. And then I still meet students that I try to get to know the students one-on-one and kind of know their names. When I see them out, it really blows their mind when I can go up to them and say, "Hey, John, how you doing?" And they look at me like, "Oh, you remember me." I just ran into a student today that graduated a few years ago. I still remembered his name, went up to him today, and he was blown away that I remembered him. And I get blown away when they come to me. But I work with a great bunch of ladies. I love the Beavercreek schools. Plan to stay there forever. And I also want to thank the very great support I have at home. My husband, Jerry,
He has let me be on our computer for hours, days, and months, and oh my gosh, trying to get everything together for the school so that it does run smoothly, and I really appreciate that, Gary. Thank you. And I want to thank Velma Holbrook for coming tonight. She's really been very supportive of me too in all this year. And thank you all. So that's good.
Next, I'd like to ask Ms. Donna Magnata, who is the Executive Secretary of the Superintendent, to please come forward. And Donna, I know that our former superintendent, who you worked with most, is recently retired, and so I have the opportunity tonight to try to say a few words and to recognize you. First of all, I want to say that in my experience in working with Donna here at Central Office, she is one of those individuals that each day when you walk through the building and you walk into the building and she sees you, she will be the one to put a smile on your face, to ask you how your weekend was, and to genuinely show that caring concern. And that's truly appreciated. And I know it's not just, I know I'm not the only person who gets it when I go through the door, because I recognize and see that you do that with everyone. But the recognition tonight is a lot about your work, Donna. Your work here with our schools and the different positions that you've held with the district really shows that you pay some attention to detail, that you are always concerned that you get it right, and you're not afraid to ask questions just so that you do get it right. It's truly appreciated. It shows that you want to grow and that you continue to grow, and you do an outstanding job. One of Donna's major responsibilities each month is to prepare the board books, board reports for all of us. And she gets things from all the cabinet members and from the superintendent and the treasurer to make sure that that book is ready for our board so that they can conduct their meetings and take their action. And that is truly a very, very important job, and we appreciate that. Donna is a 1981 graduate of Beavercreek High School, and she began her career at Beavercreek City Schools in 2005. And she's always proud to share that with others that she went to Beavercreek High School and she works there, or works for Beavercreek City Schools at the same time. She's proud to say that she works where she grew up and attended school. In her time with Beavercreek City Schools, Donna has worked in many departments. She's worked in our curriculum department. She served us over at Ankeny Middle School, and she's worked as the Executive Secretary of the Superintendent since 2013. In her free time, Donna enjoys TRX, boot camp and spinning, and she enjoys dining out with her husband Mike and her two sons Jake and Anthony, who are here with us this evening. Donna, on behalf of Beavercreek City Schools, the board, former superintendent, and I'm certain our current superintendent, we congratulate you on being recognized for the work that you do. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Honored that someone took the time to nominate me and appreciates all that I do. I want to thank my family for coming. My boys weren't going to come, so I'm glad they're here too. And thank everybody.
You know, when I think about the work that Donna does as a secretary, and then we move on to our next recipient tonight, building secretary, Cheryl McCormick, I want us to pause and reflect for a moment that those individuals are the front line for our community. When someone calls, I want to talk to the superintendent, they talk to the superintendent secretary first. I want to talk to the building principal, they talk to the building principal secretary first. So it is with honor, again, that we're going to continue with this evening. And I'd like Cheryl McCormick and Mr. Dale Wren to come forward, please. Cheryl? Congratulations.
Good evening. First of all, I'd just like to verify, Darren stole my first comment from there it is on my note card. But that just reinforces really what it is a building secretary does. They are the front line. First, a little bit about Cheryl, a 1983 graduate of the Ohio Institute of Photography. Some of her activities she has enjoyed. She has raised 3 children when they were young. She volunteered at their school, their clinic, their classroom, and helped with many fundraisers. Team mom for Eager Beaver football, and also the Beavercreek Sox. When she was in high school, she was also a library aide. Outside hobbies, she has 5 grandsons, 6, 5, 1.5, 1, and a newborn, born on June 27th. Joining us back there. Some of her other activities, she just loves family gatherings, events, photography, decorating, gardening, and shopping. Most of all, spending time with family and friends are most important to her. Her son, her husband, Lane, and she has 3 children, Mrs. Aaron Hammonds, Justin McCormick, and Jacob McCormick. From my perspective, like I said, Cheryl is the front lines of the building. And if you have ever been able to observe the first half hour prior to school starting in any school building, on a good day, it is challenging and a little chaotic. On a bad day, it is meltdown central. Forgotten homework, forgotten lunch, 6th grader that just can't keep 6th grade together anymore. Sometimes it is for we adults that we can't keep it together anymore. And Cheryl is always there with poise and calm. And in some of the toughest situations, and many of these situations you don't even know they're coming until they walk through that doorway. So, tremendous attribute. She's always thinking ahead. Last year was my first year in the building. It was my first year as an administrator at the middle school level. So I had a lot to learn, and I always got a lot of gentle reminders, as sometimes I had tunnel vision on what was right under my nose. Cheryl was there to point out, hey, next month, this is coming. She helped with all the different personalities that I had to learn, so I really appreciate that. Quick on her feet. Like I said, you get a lot of unexpected situations that you never have seen coming 30 seconds prior, and Cheryl handles those with such calm and poise, whether it's student-related, parent-related, or other. Almost most importantly, Cheryl has a sense of humor, and maintains that poise in the moment, but sometimes when that little guy walks away, or little girl that we just put back together, you just kind of exchange that smile and giggle like, all right, we got through that. And if you're going to survive middle school, you better have a sense of humor. You better not take that day or yourself too seriously. Lastly, and probably most importantly, constantly thinking of others, and it's more just observing from afar. She always gave me a heads up on if there was a staff member that had a little too much on their plate that day, they were just struggling in general, and she's always there for that person, to take them out for lunch, to help them through that tough spot. And that is what makes a building go, that camaraderie. So I personally am very grateful for you. This is well deserved, so congratulations.
Supporting us. I've been so blessed to have such a wonderful support system of family and friends, coworkers, even students and parents. And I am so blessed for that. And I thank Beavercreek City Schools for taking a chance on me 20 years ago and allowing me the opportunity to be part of this great district. I am very grateful, so thank you very much.
Did this alphabetically. So, yes, we did this alphabetically. And I wanted to take a minute to bring up our last but not least individual this evening, Mr. Rocky Ford and
the head custodian, who is the head custodian at Ainley Middle School, and Mr. Dale Renigan. And Rocky, we've worked together for a long number of years, and I know that in my interactions with you, you've always been very supportive. I'm excited that you have this opportunity, like I said, last but not least. Dale, Rocky, come on forward. Congratulations,
Mr. Rocky Twarek, a little bit about Rocky. Enjoys helping set up after-school activity and sporting events and social gatherings. Rocky was in our maintenance department for 11 years, also a special needs assistant, one-on-one at the Beavercreek High School, and is currently the head custodian at Ainley Middle School. Outside hobbies, he enjoys being part of the band Wildcat Road as a drummer, fishing, spending time with family and friends, and just enjoys helping others. His wife Lori is here. He also has 3 children, Shayna, Joshua, and Hawaii. Rocky, and Cheryl, you 20 years, I'm 20, not 20 years old, obviously. Rocky, this is your 20, that's kind of cool that we're all kind of together. Rocky, I just kind of bullet points when I thought about him this week. A sense of order, which for a custodian is great. I mean, our building, I think came is almost 50, right? 1968.
Yes.
So it's there's some tread off the tires, but you go in, it looks great. It is ready to go. And that's kind of the foundation. You walk in. I came back that day last week, and I kind of walked in, and I smelled, I guess, the wax, and it kind of got me excited for school. What's wrong with you? It's July 13th, but it's that attention to detail that Rocky has. Always thinking ahead, looking ahead. I'm like Cheryl, looking down the road as I get tunnel vision on other things. I have great support to kind of remind me to think of these other things. It's that pride and appearance of AMS and what it looks like. And Rocky tries to pass that on to the students as well. And very calm, hey, this is our school, and kind of make sure that there's kind of an inclusive feeling to this building. Sometimes the students feel it, sometimes it's lost on them, but Rocky always tries. Supportive colleague. Things come up, and you don't expect them, and I've presented things to Rocky, problems that we have to solve, and never have I ever had the comment back to me, oh, we can't do that. It's always, sometimes it's stunned silence, but we always throw out ideas. We're always trying to come up with something, and I know it always comes back to his desire, and the last thing, he does what's right for the kids. And Rocky's unique background in maintenance, as a special needs assistant, the high school, the special needs population, and then what he does now is I have 3 categories of employees in one person. He's great in the lunchroom. He helps me keep the lid on the volume and the discipline in the lunchroom and those things. So it's really, you're just very useful. That's kind of understated, sounds too. But I'm just so excited that we kind of make a pact. We're going to try to stick together for a while. So Rocky Twerk.
I'm a much better musician than I am speech giver. I can tell you that, so bear with me. I'm very humbled and honored to be here before you this evening. First of all, I'd like to thank my wife, my family, friends, and fellow co-workers for being here this evening. Also, I'd like to congratulate the other recipients of this prestigious award on a job well done. Being able to work and have my children attend the Beavercreek City Schools is not a right, but a privilege, and I'm very thankful for that. It always makes me very proud to tell people that I'm an employee of Beavercreek City Schools. I hope everybody has a great 2016-17 school year. And once again, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And once again, congratulations to all the recipients tonight. So well deserved. Next item on our agenda, I'm going to turn over to Mr. Lockley for presentation.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Regano. Mrs. Regano, members of the board, we have two presentations this evening. The first one is Mr. David Conklin. He would like to present the board today a rebate from DP&L. So I'd like to ask him to come to the mic at this time.
Pierce Fair is with us as well.
Okay,
We got this really scripted out. My name is Pierce Fair. This is Dave Conklin with Vital Energy Systems. I want to say something to you in general. I go to a lot of schools. We work with over 100 schools, and this is a culture that I don't see a lot. So commend you and congratulate you. You guys are great to work with. So Todd Scott included. So what we have to that was a compliment. What we have to talk about tonight, and we won't be long, is an energy program. Personally, we're in the commercial heating and cooling energy management business. We've not had a large presence with Beavercreek at all. That started about 1.5 years ago. Our company, in conjunction with Dayton Power and Light and the Southwest Ohio Educational Purchasing Cooperative, got together. We had proved as a business that for low cost or no cost, we were saving schools money. And we got together with those three entities, and Dayton Power and Light, as you all know, is anxious to get energy rebates back to all of us, whether it's your home thermostat or whatever. So they knew we had the success in the business, and as a consequence, what we did was, we believe to be the first and only effort in the country to do this. We benchmarked for energy use 72 different school districts, and we accumulated square footage. We reviewed 350 school buildings, got energy release forms for gas and electric, reviewed each one. We had meetings in our office with teams of people, 72 different districts. Came back with that information, allowed each district to know where they stood compared to their peers, and from there, we were able to talk to several districts, 32 out of the 72, that we felt there was an opportunity to save money. And Todd was a hard sell. I think it took four visits to his office and one visit out back, but he was a hard sell. He's a prudent buyer, and he let us come in, and we had huge success in the high school. We've got successes going in your other schools. You guys should be proud of your energy use where we've got it now, and that's all I have to say. Dave's going to give us a few details.
Thanks, Pierce. Yeah, the reason Pierce was here, this was much of his brainchild. We put this all together, a lot of work went into that, so I appreciate him doing that. I'm the account manager for Beavercreek Schools with Weibel. The nitty-gritty of it all, what did we do? We came in, we worked with the team here at Beavercreek, Mr. Scott, Kelly Dexter, the maintenance guys. It has been so much fun. You know, we came in, we said, we think we can save you money. The deal DP&L put together was, if you invest, if the school was to invest $20,000 with Weibel, they would pay half of that. I said, well, we'll pay 10 of it. If you go ahead and do it, we'll pay 10 of it. So the district had about a $10,000 investment in that. We said, as Weibel, we said, well, it'll be low cost, no cost ways of saving energy. Well, as time went on, it got more and more fun because we started really saving a lot of energy. By the end of the day, by the end of the year, we had a cost avoidance of almost $215,000. That's fun. We had a great time doing that. So, you know, we started out a couple months in, hey, we're getting somewhere here, you know, so we got more team members in on it and accelerated it. So that's a lot of fun. When you can have a victory like that, it's great. We really enjoyed it. And then again, teamwork. Having everyone on board, no one pushing back. Let's try that. Well, that didn't work like what we expected, so let's tune on it a little bit. Fantastic. We had a great time. In addition to that, DP&L, to their credit, they've been wonderful too. DP&L says you're paying 8.5 cents per kilowatt hour. Not to get too technical here, but you're paying 8.5 cents per kilowatt hour.
For every one you save, not only are we going to pay you, or you're going to obviously save that money, but we're also going to rebate back 10 cents per kilowatt hour. So more than you're paying, we're going to kick back 10 cents for every one that you can shed. Well, 10 cents a kilowatt hour, what does that add up to? By the end of the year, DP&L got a check to Beavercreek schools for $187,000 in rebate. So
Plus the 2
plus,
points.
yeah, so the total of that, $214,000 avoided and $187,000 in rebate. So it was fun. We had a good time. Again, DP&L, what a wonderful company to be looking for ways to get this money back into the hands of those of us who pay for it and use the energy. So the cost reduction, we had our engineers crunch the numbers. Per student, about $29.55 per student annually saved. Doesn't sound like a whole lot, but a whole lot of students. And so I think for the treasurer, that's a significant number and something we'd like to see. So that's great. Thank you very much for letting us work with you on this. Like I said, we had a great time. But like every sales manager I've ever worked for, what have you done for me? Right? That was last year. So we did enter into another agreement with the district. We said, well, 20,000 worked fine last year. When we did share some of that savings last year, we said, let's do another $20,000 agreement and see what we can do with the rest of the district, because that was primarily the high school. So we've come back. We just today, this afternoon, by coincidence, got the normalized, we have to normalize for weather conditions and things like that. The new normalized data up through May, so the first 5 months of the year, we have saved about $70,000 so far this year, over where we were last year. So we continue to go with this. We're working on some new projects in Ankeny and other places. Again, we're having a great time. We love working with Beavercreek, and thank you for that. So with that note, I'd like to present to Mrs. Regano a little plaque, appreciation from us, and it says thank you, like a big check. So that's the Dayton Power and Light check. So I'll get that.
Okay. Thank you.
And then you guys. Oh, yeah.
Well, I'd like to thank Dave Pierce for coming, and we want to continue having fun with you, so. We appreciate you coming.
You bet. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. The next presentation is information about 1236 Ames Road property. I'd like to put this up on the display, and the board members have this before you, so you don't have to turn your head here. Back in June, I was approached about a property, late June, by an individual by the name of Matt Sheridan, who works with Sheridan and Associates. Mrs. Rucker and I met with Matt, and this piece of property, I think probably all of us have driven past it, sits right next to Main Elementary and our bus compound. The property is Haynes Road, but the road that connects on the other side is Hickory. Matt had reached out to us because the property is going into what is called a Medicaid sale. So when the property is sold as a Medicaid sale, it supports, if the money goes to the Medicaid, it supports the individual who owned it. He had asked us if we'd be interested in looking at it. I did a little research and found out that this property the district has looked at in the past, has approached the buyer in the past, and the last time was a few years ago, and the price was about $150,000. The appraised value of the house is $138,670, and the district at that time did not move forward with the sale or purchase of the property simply because it was out of price. Matt has approached us, and I've spoken with all 5 board members about this property at a significant reduction in the purchase of this property. This property would come in at 55% below the appraised value. So we would be looking at a purchase price of $62,000. We feel this is a optimal piece of property for the district for a number of reasons. First of all, not that I have a great history being on the job for 21 days, but what I've been told from my colleagues is there's not a lot of parking in Maine Elementary, and because we have staff that park in Maine, we have parents who park in Maine, we also have bus drivers that need to find parking spots as well. This property can assist us with that. In addition, talking with Mr. Scott, he has informed me that there have been a number of close accidents that have occurred with our buses as they depart that area, and parents who are pulling out from dropping students off. In addition, whenever you have an opportunity to buy property for the school district, it gives us control of the property, so we can control how that property looks. In addition, it gives us property to build on later should we need it. So you'll notice later in the agenda, I am recommending to the board to authorize a resolution this evening, which will authorize Mrs. Rucker to proceed with the purchase of this property at that price. It is not the district's intent to maintain the structures on that property. We would look to remove the structures. That would obviously be an additional cost, but I believe that will be a minimal cost. We've started looking at getting some rough quotes for that, and it's very low. We'd also look at possibly removing some of the overgrowth in that area as well to make it look better. And that would be the time if we wanted to remove trees when we get the equipment on site. That would be the least expensive process to do that. So tonight, as I said, we do have this later on the agenda. I know this is not a new item for the board. I have discussed this with you, but I wanted to present it here this evening for you to see if there's any questions. Also for our community, they have an opportunity to see that piece of property and understand what our intent is. And in my opinion, this is a outstanding price for this piece of property for the district. So does the board have any questions about that?
Square footage property is.
I do have that. You know, I'll have to give that to you. It's actually on another sheet, but I have the, from the county auditor, I have the diagram of how it's broken down, but it's a nice piece of property. Yeah, it's really small in there to see it. But I'll be able to get that to you, Mr. Taylor. I'm surprised how big it looks when you drive by, because the house sits somewhat up front. The back end of the property has got a lot of overgrowth. A lot of that image makes it look like it's kind of open at the back. There's a lot of growth in the back of that area, so it's larger than you think.
Mr. Rodney, your explanation and your presentation was right on the money, because there have been almost several accidents that have taken place. It's a very busy intersection, and even if it's used just for a parking lot, we definitely need the parking spaces as well.
Rick, and I appreciate if we approve that later, then Mrs. Rucker will begin working on that, I believe, next week. So, thank you.
Thank you for doing this for us.
Absolutely.
We have a 5-minute recess. In case anybody want to leave, I think maybe I would like to say we just go on.
I'm
Is
good.
that okay? That'll be the board. If anybody else just want to leave, please feel free to leave. We're not telling you have to
And
leave.
you're welcome to
but-
Not that you're not interesting or anything.
We appreciate it.
But leave it anyway.
Okay, we have no questions or comments for tonight, so we're going to go on to approve the minutes held. I need a motion to second to approve the minutes for the June 11, 2016 special meeting and June 16, 2000 regular meeting. Any discussion?
Ms. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor? Ms. Arnold?
Yes.
Mr. Morrison?
Yes.
Mr. Donovan?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, I'm going to do this in block. Then we'll discuss it. I need a motion to second to approve the following under financial reports request. June 2016 and fiscal year 2016 financial reports on page 54. Fiscal year end transfers and advances, page 70. ORC 5705.41D, purchase order certification on page 71. Fiscal year certificate of estimated resources, page 72. June 2016 donated items, page 73. And approval of modified fiscal year 16 Green County ESC contract for services, page 74. Need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Any discussion? Mr. Rucker?
I would just-
Mr. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Just a very, very brief comment. The first item of the financial reports, I certainly want to congratulate Mrs. Rucker for her fiscal responsibility, the accountability, the openness, the transparency, and of course, it's always wonderful to see the revenues exceed the expenditures.
As we have talked all year long, we always compare these monthly financial reports to the 5-year forecast. We compare it back to October, and then when we do our update in May, we always compare our monthly outlay to what we've been projected in the 5-year forecast. And so, just to confirm what we've talked about all year, we are right within what we thought we would be in the 5-year forecast in May. So, you know, our revenues, our expenditures, I'm very happy with the way it's turned out. There's no surprises. So all of that is very good. And the different things that are on here, like the fiscal year-end transfers and advances, again, those are fiscal year-end processes. June 30th is our fiscal year-end for everyone, you know, the community and everyone. Just as a reminder, we close our books as of June 30th, and then we start our new fiscal year as of July 1st. And I always think it's very nice when people ask us, oh, so you're out in the summer now, we have our busy time in the summer. So while everybody's having their vacations, we're closing the books, opening the books, and we're doing all of that. And got a great staff that helps with that. So the transfers and advances, our year end, we do that mainly at year end. We have the purchase order certifications and the estimated resources. Those are revised code or compliance issues that we would do for the revised code for the auditors. The auditors are coming in probably in August. They're going to start our audit. They'll be here off and on through pretty much December before they're finished. They have to go. We have the donated items in there, and then our modified Green County ESC contract. There's been a few additional services that are going to be purchased through Green County and not through Montgomery County. So that's, I mean, as far as the cost, I think it's going to be very comparable, but they're going to be Green County contracts. So, unless you have any other specific questions, that's pretty much it, and no surprises.
No other question. One thing I failed to mention, and this is really remarkable, is the fact that the projections that you made a year ago ended up on the revenue side within approximately 1/4%, and your expenditures came in 3/4%. Both absolutely phenomenal. So, congratulations.
Mr. Morrison?
Yes.
Ms. Arnold?
Yes.
Ms. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Vano?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Motion carries.
We're on to new business, and the use of the clock. I'm going to need a motion and a second to approve the employment, salary changes, leaves, absence, terminations, job descriptions, page 78. Approval of resolution to participate in the free and reduced lunch program in all Beavercreek City schools and the free and reduced breakfast, page 94. Approval of resolution to purchase property that Mr. Hutton was just talking about at 1236 Ames Road, that's on page 95. The approval of lunch fees for the fiscal year 16-17, page 96. And school fee schedule, board approved, 6/16/16, corrections and reading, page 3. The approval of student handbooks, 2016-17. Check out the binder. Motion and second, please.
I just wanted to make a comment really quickly, because we're voting as a block, just in the interest of transparency.
Okay.
My sister is one of the employees being approved on page 88 as a substitute nurse. So, because we're voting as a block, I'm not going to understand.
On page what?
Page 88.
Okay.
Tracy Roberts.
Okay.
That's my sister. I just wanted to mention that for her.
Okay,
You
thank
can
you.
abstain on that page if you'd like.
I can. Okay. Let's do that.
Okay.
Motion and second.
Motion is second.
So moved.
I'd like to cover a couple of these items, just to give you an
Oh,
update. First of all, I'd like to ask Mr. Schwederman, we have two individuals who are sitting with us this evening that I'd like to kind of direct your attention to, and I believe Mr. Schwederman has some information to share about two of our administrators that are here.
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. Yeah, it is a really honor this evening to introduce our two new administrators who are joining our team here with Beavercreek City Schools. First, I'm going to start with our new assistant superintendent, Mr. Jason Enix. Jason is a 1993 graduate of Wayne High School. He's a former Warrior. And 1997 graduate of Ohio University, where he earned his bachelor's degree in middle childhood education, and began his career teaching science and mathematics instruction with with Vandalia Butler Schools, and then moved to West Carrollton City Schools, where in 2006 became an assistant principal at West Carrollton Middle School. He completed his master's degree in educational leadership. I had the opportunity to be in a couple classes down at UD during that time with Mr. Phoenix, and completed that degree and his principal's licensure, his superintendent licensure with the University of Dayton as well. As an assistant principal, Jason had the opportunity to be involved in West Carrollton in curriculum development and teacher recruitment at a district level. In 2014, Jason became the principal at Lebanon Junior High in Lebanon, Ohio. And he's been instrumental during the last 2 years as an instructional leader, improving student achievement and encouraging student success in that school. He brings a strong passion for collaborative leadership and a commitment to helping adults as well as students learn and grow. And we're really fortunate to have Jason in his family. And then also this evening, Michelle Height is joining us. Michelle comes to us from Warren County ESC, where I'll get to that in just a second here. Michelle is a Beavercreek resident. Her and her husband reside here in Beavercreek with their two children, 3-year-old and 2-year-old. She's very busy, but yet very dedicated to her work and helping students learn and grow. She began her career as an intervention specialist after graduating from the University of Dayton in 2005 in Fairfax County, Virginia. And in 2006, she moved back to the Dayton area and worked as an intervention specialist with Centerville Schools until 2011. When she was hired by the Warren County Learning Center as an assistant principal in one of their special units. And she then, in 2014, became a special education supervisor with Warren County ESC. And she served in multiple districts as the program director for social communication classrooms. And she supervised speech and language pathologists for the Warren County ESC, who were placed in multiple school districts throughout that part of Ohio. Michelle and her family, as I said, live here in Beavercreek. We're thrilled to have her on board as the new assistant principal for the school. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you very much.
If I might, I'd like to ask Mr. Enix if he can move up to the front table. And I hope the board votes for you, so.
I already signed his contract.
Okay,
So
I'm sure, thankfully, you need to put that on, so welcome aboard. I would like to add one thing. I'd like to recognize Mr. Schwederman. I think a lot of times people don't realize our principals are doing an outstanding job trying to find great candidates. But Mr. Schwederman, he's the guy at this time of year that spends an ungodly amount of hours working behind the scenes, making sure that all our T's are crossed and I's are dotted to make sure we have great people. And just to let you know, he's hired 25 teachers and he's hired 4 administrators. And in my short time being here, I've been very impressed with his work and his quality, his professionalism. And I think the board needs to understand and recognize the amount of work that he does every summer for this district. So I appreciate what he's done to get great people like these individuals here. So thanks, Dan. Okay, moving on. First of all, just item B on here, that is a boilerplate resolution. That just allows us to continue to offer free and reduced lunch services to our students who qualify. Item C is the resolution, and you'll notice both B and C are resolutions. Obviously, I'm going to ask the board if you're all right with me waiving the reading of those resolutions. But item C is the resolution for 1236 Haynes Road. Again, I think it's a great opportunity for the district. Item D is approval of lunch fees. I do want to share this with the board. This year we are looking at an increase for lunch fees. At Beavercreek High School and our 2 middle schools, the increase would be 10 cents. So we would go from $2.55 per lunch to $2.65. I'm sorry, I had these switched. At Beavercreek High School and middle school, we would go from $2.80 to $2.90. And then the elementary schools would be a 5-cent increase, and they would go from $2.55 to $2.60. Just want to share, there's no increase for breakfast. Those will remain the same. And I want to give a couple reasons why that raise is necessary. Talking with Mrs. Little, and she does not ever want to raise food, the cost for purchasing food. But there's been a 2% increase in food costs through fiscal year 16, and there's been a loss to revenue with the reduction of student days. We've lost 2 student days, but our staff has remained where they currently are. So when you look at what we make in food service per day, to lose those, that obviously has hit our budget. And the last thing I'd like to share is the last increase that we had was in fiscal year 14, and that was a 10-cent raise at that time. So that would be item D. Item E is school fee schedule. This is something great to report out on. Mrs. Sizemore noticed today, and that as she was reviewing our fee schedule for this upcoming year, that there were some errors in there that was brought forward at an earlier board meeting. So we wanted to correct those errors as soon as possible. And what that is it's a reduction in our world languages for our middle school students. So French 1 previously was a $40 school fee. That'll drop to $0. Spanish 1 was a $43 school fee. That'll drop to $17. And German 1 was a $13 fee, and that'll drop to $0. So those are great things. I appreciate Mrs. Sizemore bringing those to us. So those are things that we'd like to vote on. So
That's great.
and that concludes new business. Oh, I'm sorry. Letter F is the student handbooks, which I do have the binder right here. So you are welcome to look at it. But that would conclude those items under new business.
Okay, so, I need to vote, please.
Ms. Hunt? Yes. Except page 88. Mr. Taylor?
Yeah.
Ms. Arnold?
Yes.
Mr. Morrison?
Yes.
Ms. Regano?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And we're on to superintendent's report.
Yeah, thank you, Mrs. Regano. Mrs. Regano, members of the board, this evening you have a packet. We have 23 board policies that I'm presenting for a first reading this evening. These are Neola policies that are obviously Beavercreek. There's many of these 23, there's many new policies that we do not currently have. Those would be the policies that you see that are all solid black. And then we have revisions, and those revisions have been listed in red, so you'll notice those. If you have any questions between now and our next board meeting, please let me know, and I'll be happy to address those. And then we would be bringing this back at our next board meeting for approval of these board policies. So that would conclude superintendent's reports.
Okay, thanks. So we're on to announcements. Board of Education meeting, next one is Board of Education meeting August 18, 6:30 right here in this room. And first day of school, wow, for 2016-2017 school year is August 17th. That's hard to believe. It's right around the corner. Next summer will be longer. It will. And we're on to board member comments. Where's Sterling tonight?
Well, welcome to our new administrators. Glad to have you. I wanted to mention Beth Sizemore. She is mentioned in our employment salary changes item on the agenda. I'm excited that we're able to give you some additional, not that we're really giving you more responsibility, we're just going to give you something for it now. But she is managing our grants. Beth, I've known Beth for years, and she's very, very passionate about what she does. So I just want to thank you for what you do, and we're excited that you're going to be leading the charge on the grants for our district. Mr. Morris?
Yes, thank you all, Mr. Brown. Glad to have you with us officially, even though I know you've been here for.
Glad to be here.
We appreciate that. I'd like to welcome Jason, who's already left, but Michelle. Oh, okay, there you go.
He's moved.
Up front, yeah, Michelle. Thank you very much. And I love the outstanding classified staff awards that we had this evening. I think that was phenomenal. All of them very deserving. Donna Magnata and Cheryl and McCormick and Rocky had a chance to work with them all at the building level, so made some very, very wise choices. So great job. Love to see that happen.
And welcome all to the Beavercreek family. That's kind of the way I've always looked at my time here at Beavercreek. Having taught here for 35 years, and I've always had tremendous pride, Beaver pride, that I think that shines throughout the Beaver area and shows, give us, gives everybody else an example of what we really stand for. So thanks again. And I really felt that during the presentation of both for the outstanding teachers and for the certified staff. Amazing. Just amazing.
I think Janelle made a comment.
Yeah.
I'm just so excited that all the new faces we've got here. And, I attended a meeting on Tuesday.
And I appreciate that.
And I'm retired. He said, you know, the feeling in that room was totally different than any of the other meetings that I've attended in a long, long time. I was just amazed at the interest in the group, in doing the job together and doing it well. And I've had 3 phone calls from teachers who wanted to make sure that I got myself on Twitter so I could follow. They're like, this is so cool, you know. So whatever you're doing, tweeting away, must be good. My kid is going to hook me up with a Twitter account, and I don't know if I'm following anybody else. I have no problem.
I will tweet out when you follow me. I'll tweet you out.
And I just would like to really thank Rocky. Rocky and I spent a very interesting Saturday together about 6 or 7 years ago over at the high school at the Show Choir Invitational. It was 21 degrees below zero out. And as soon as lunch started, which is kind of a big production, we've got 18, 19 groups from out, you know, all over the place that are here. And right on top of Ritter's custard and part of the other food, a giant whooshing of water. That some pipe gave way and Rocky climbed up in that ceiling and got himself so soaked he wouldn't, and then he went back outside to go home in minus 21 degrees and all, but he climbed up through the ceiling tiles, up, God knows what he did, but he turned off the water, because I think we were all drowned that day. It was, you know, he was phenomenal. So it was a bonding event. I got pretty well myself. But just, you know, it's so good to have you here. So good. I'm excited. Change a lot of old people not like change versus I'm going to do that.
Thank you. You know, it's always nice to recognize our outstanding employees. Such a great night to do this. Darren, I really want to thank you for what you do. Paul's absolutely right. You know, you're always behind the scenes. People don't realize all the work and hours. I know the hours you're here, you're always here. So I really personally want to thank you for everything you do for the school system. I mean, you've been our principal. I mean, you've been a BEA. I mean, I will never forget that presentation with the alphabet. That was, as a teacher sitting in the audience, I will never forget that presentation. I mean, to this day, I remember it. Believe me, that was, were you there then? Okay, well, it was priceless. He got through the alphabet and to this little thing. That was unbelievable, really. See, there were people remember. Yeah. It was, yes, after as a teacher in the audience, and he captivated the whole audience. We're all like, all right, this is good. And, you know, first day of school, everybody wants to get back to their classrooms, you know, let's go. And he's up there as the BA, you know, president's like, wow, he really represented us well.
But he was our union.
A union rep, right, right. So BA president, he's a union rep, and he was fabulous at that, and he has moved on to bigger and better heights. So thank you so much. I want to welcome Michelle and Jason. We are very excited that you're here. Thank you for taking on this task. We're excited. I mean, that's going to be a challenge that I know you can handle. And Paul, we are so happy that you're here. This is a great opportunity for you to school. We are excited. You got your new staff and you're ready to go. The district is yours. And with that, oh, that works just normal. Lindy? So it's now, let's see, 7, well, that clock, I never know. It's like, what do I have here, 8:40, 8:43. Okay, I already have an motion, second, so we're good to go. Thanks, everybody.